of outstanding and extraordinary intellectual power. He's a dedicated, committed, and hard-working individual. He has been in public life for over 30 years. He was an ambassador to Brazil. He was a minister in the government. He was one of the best mayors of Chaguanas. He is one of the 3 deputy political leaders of the UNC. The next member of parliament for Tabakit. Warmly welcome Dr. Suraj Rambachan.
Well, this one is about uniting the nation.
Good evening, Gasparillo. Good evening, constituents of Tabakit. Political leader and colleagues of the People's Partnership, my candidate colleagues, Mr. Rudy Indar Singh and Mr. Earl MacLeod, ladies and gentlemen, friends, Trinidad and Tobago, I come before you tonight as your candidate for the constituency of Tabakit and pledge to you to be the best representative that you would have ever had in the constituency of Tabakit. I pledge to you tonight that just as I sought to redefine and to emphasize what a mayor meant in a town, I intend to redefine what representation of a member of parliament should be in a constituency, and I intend to do so in Tabakit. Brothers and sisters, a national election is one of the most important events in the life of a nation. And this election that has come to us within 2.5 years of the 5 years that had been given by you to the PNM is perhaps the most important election that this country would ever have faced in the last number of 54 years. May I remind you tonight that of the 54 years since 1956, 43 of those years have been under the PNM. And 43 years they have had to change the lives of our people, to change the landscape of this country, so that people do not live in substandard conditions, but they have mismanaged, and today people are still living in parts of Tabakit and Laventille and Pinal as if it were 1956. Brothers and sisters, this election is a time when we look back to the beginnings of our journey as a people and trace the road that we have traveled. It is a time when we pause and we look around to see where we are and who we are. And it is a time tonight when we look to Kamla Prasad Bisesa, our political leader, and look ahead to the road that stretches ahead with her and to the journey that we must now complete together as the People's Partnership under her leadership. Brothers and sisters, it is a time to look at the inheritance of our past, the achievements of our present, and the possibilities for the future. And one of the things we do know is that what the PNM boasts of as achievements are not in sync with what the people want in this country. What the people want is very different from what the PNM is boasting about. Brothers and sisters, this is an opportunity for us in 2010, a most important opportunity that should not be wasted, for serious national discussion. In many parts of the world today, people are giving their lives for the opportunity to select a government of their choice. And our leader, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, within 2 months of becoming the opposition leader, has brought the PNM to his knees and caused the collapse of the PNM. Mr. Manning is boasting that he wants to go back into office, but chant from the parliament when she said, let's debate your tenure in office. So that the true leader, the one who does not have fear, the one who is courageous, the one who has been able to strip the emperor bare of all his clothes, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, she deserves to be on the throne of Trinidad and Tobago. Brothers and sisters, the PNM, they would like us to expend our energies in the distracting frivolities about people's dress and sleep habits, about who is fit and unfit to tie and untie whose shoelaces. The one thing I will not do, and the one thing that this People's Partnership will not do, is to insult your intelligence and play silly games with your future, which is what the PNM is doing. You deserve better. You deserve a national discussion on the national issues, and you are getting that national discussion from this platform of the People's Partnership. My dear brothers and sisters, when we look back to our past, we see a long road of common suffering. We see struggle under the burdens of slavery and indentureship. But we also see strength. We also see determination. We also see resilience and the creative energies of both our African and Indian ancestors, our Chinese ancestors, our Syrian Lebanese ancestors, as they toiled and used scarce and meager resources to transform this land into a new home for their children and grandchildren. Today we stand as the grateful inheritors of their labors and gifts, but we would have had a greater inheritance from our grandparents had the PNM used the wealth of this nation in a more productive and prudent way and not fritter it away in wasteful projects in this country. Because they did that, we do not have the inheritance of good health. We do not have the inheritance of water on a 24/7 basis. We do not have the inheritance